So this basically is saying why your progress stopped after a couple of months in the gym. And the mini sentence under there basically just says because you got used to the intensity. So, as you may have guessed, this is about intensity. So, I mean, naturally, when you think about it, just to kind of explain the fucking first slide, but basically, when you first got into the gym, you had never touched weights before. And so your immediate normal reaction is just to get super stimulated from the weights because the 5 kilogram is like 100 kilograms to you. You don't see the difference because you never touched weights before. And so this is a new area of expertise for you. So naturally, like you didn't enter that territory before, and that's why your first couple of months of being at the gym developed you the most. But then why isn't it like why is this saying intensity instead? Is intensity like the few months in the gym that developed you? No, that's absolutely not true. Well, intensity is how hard you make the exercise. So to kind of just like bring this back to context, when we talked about how when you first started the gym, like it's super hard, the 5 kilograms is like 100. Well, yeah, because you don't have to make it hard enough because it's already hard. But naturally, as we're growing and we're growing more in the gym, you're starting to get more gains. You get more adapted to the intensity. So the intensity, the 5 kilograms, 10 kilograms, they don't they aren't as heavy as they were when you first started. So naturally, even though you're starting to lift heavier weights and you're going up in the selection, you're going up to like 20 kgs, you have in you the 30 kgs if you want to experience the same thing you experienced the first time. It's about making the exercise harder. That's how you increase intensity. So, a fundamental rule of life that I just want to teach you here, and I'll keep teaching you over and over till it basically becomes a rule you have in your mind unconsciously. If you want to build something good, if you want to build something that is very rare to build, you could want to build financial freedom, you could want to build a good physique, you want to build good relationships. Look at someone who already has it, who has built what you want. So I want to take Sam Sulek as an example. So I just kind of wanted to show you this shit. I actually used to watch this guy. If you've seen the video I posted saying I stopped watching fitness influencers, I basically was referring to Sam Sulek. And I said that in the video. I don't give a fuck. But let me go back to one of the older videos I watched. Oh, look at how much I used to watch this guy, bro. It's insane. Anyway, I want to kind of find you. Let's hope this is an intense one. Okay. I don't know if you can hear the audio, but let's see. Hopefully you can. So basically, just before he starts playing, we want to analyze the way he's actually hitting his workouts because he has the good physique, and so we want to learn from him intensity, okay? 5 reps, the whole fucking stack, one leg. I want to show you a more obvious exercise than this. Another exercise. Oh fuck. Let me move this thing, bro. Fuck. Just stop there or something. Yeah. Let me show you. Hold up. I want to find you another one. Hold up. I want to find you another one. Because I want to show you specifically hamstring curls. This guy, let me just show you the intensity of his. Fuck, bro. Yeah, I think it's this one. This one's good. Check this out. Check this fucking dude out. Look at his legs. That's real fucking intensity. That is real fucking intensity. Let's just skip the RDLs. I want to show you. Look at these fucking partials. He calls these partials. He does these not only on legs, by the way. He does these on every single like workout, but specifically legs just gets to me. Okay, he does partials. What the actual fuck? So partials, what he calls is literal half reps. So you've reached failure, right? You basically reached fail. Okay, you're at failure, sweet, and you're pushing out. Okay, okay, and then you drop the weights. Oh, you could have done half reps, right? In fact, if you look at, I don't keep fucking going to YouTube, but if you look at the video with Tom Plaz, and he's basically coaching this guy, he's telling him do half squats, and I hold on, I want to fucking show you this. He basically, okay, so look at this, okay, not full fucking squats because he was burned out. He had like I don't know how much fucking weight he had on, but basically he did half squats, like literally something like that's not fucking intensity at its peak. I don't know what the fuck is. Okay. When you want to fucking learn from when you want to fucking build a good physique, you want to learn from the actual top. You want to build like you want to learn from the guys who got it all, right? So basically, partials. You're doing half reps. So you don't do half reps like basically just as you are, like you're all good and fine. You go to failure, and then after failure, you basically just start doing these partials. You basically just start doing half reps. Like you're doing bicep curls, you're at the very end, and you're basically just like here, really pressing the biceps to actually try and get something. So you finished the full. So let me just show you like how it would look. Okay. Something like this. Just full on half reps. I hope you understand my point. And you can do this with mostly like most of the exercises that you can go intense with. So ham curls, bicep curls, can do this with tricep extensions, just, like go half, like start slamming your shit out. You can kind of do this with lateral raises, like half reps, just like not going fully up. You can do this with lateral raises, but like you're just pulling, but you're not fully pulling the weights. Man, I fucking miss the gym. Anyway, so basically you want to get to the point where you're hitting failure on every single set, every single exercise you hit. So I kind of just want to add another pro tip just before that one. I specifically want to add uh should be like pro tip number 0, but okay. Um which is don't count. Don't count. Don't count nothing. If you look at Sam Silik, he doesn't count his reps, or at least like for the majority of the reps. Like for here, he counted his quad extensions, or at least like the first video that I placed, it basically counted like his quad extensions. You don't need to count reps. Don't count reps. Don't count sets. Hit the exercise till you physically cannot hit the exercise. Okay? I know this is fucking extreme, but I didn't say this was gonna be Disneyland. Okay? Don't count nothing. So how would you go off? You would go off of instinct, right? So let me just kind of I want to skip these pro tips just for a moment, okay? Intensity. Do you have a metric to measure how good your workouts are? Probably not. Do you have a metric to measure how intense you need to go to get a good workout? You probably don't know. Do you have a metric to know if you're gonna get the gains? Oh yeah, I probably will just the soreness next day. And the last one, because it's pretty common to actually find people who know that, but it's already over because it's just questioning if you'll get the gains as opposed to actually knowing how much work you need to put in extra. Well, yes, it's the pump. It is the pump. For both the first two questions, you want to know, you want to wait to measure how good your workout is right now, it's the pump. Are you full? Are your muscles that you are training full and pumped? If is the muscle really pumped, like to the point that biceps, you literally can't extend your arm? Is it to that level? Then do you have metrics to know how intense you need to go to get a good workout? Well, it's the pump because you measure off of the pump. You see how full the pump is, and you make sure it is the fullest it can be. You don't count. Counting's for beginners, right? You're not a beginner because if you're a beginner, you probably wouldn't be watching intensity lecture here. You probably would be watching bodybuilding basics. You'd probably be watching the 10 best exercises to induce chest growth, whatever you'd be watching. This you would not be watching a lecture specifically on intensity because you would think, okay, well, why the fuck should I? Oh yeah, overtraining, guys, just overtraining. Fuck, bro. Yeah. So first principle, don't fucking count. Don't count reps, don't count sets. Just hit the exercise to the fullest and measure by the pump. The pump is the way to measure. Now, someone might argue, well, but I don't I don't feel like I don't feel the pump way too much. I remember for like the first like 2 years I spent in the gym, I basically couldn't feel the pump. I didn't know why. I don't get pumps. I'm the type of guy who's like all fucking just no pumps. He thinks he has a pump. He doesn't have a pump. Well, then I asked myself, well, how do I take this next to the next level? What boosts my pump? How can I actually make my pump appearance? It's salt and water. Mm. Basically, what I started doing was I started putting like a whole bunch of salt in some honey, like a tablespoon of honey, and I slug that shit. Like right before I go to the gym. So basically, like my dad drives me to the gym, about a 10-minute drive. And basically, I just take it right before I go to the gym, and then I go to the fucking gym. So, fuck, I just wanna. Yeah, let's hope this laptop doesn't fucking turn off on us while in the middle of this. But basically, yeah, if it doesn't, we're just gonna fucking see my awkward shit trying to fucking walk there anyway. But if you don't get like pumps, then start doing this. Start taking salt because salt immediately moves that stuff to your muscles. Basically, it makes your muscles able to absorb blood more, and blood is what fills the makes the pump basically. So it increases blood flow, which means you could actually get a pump. I would recommend you would actually like eat some kind of something after it. So like basically slug that like tablespoon of honey and salt. It's gonna taste disgusting, and then you just eat something after. So like what I used to do is basically I would slug it and then I would heat up like a piece of bread, slug that shit and move to the gym. That's it. And obviously like I know bread, insulin, all that fucking crap. You can just eat whatever you want. You can eat like I don't know like a banana or something. I mean, yeah, banana is also insulin, bro. I don't know, like eat a piece of meat or something. Fuck, bro. Okay, so I think we're done with this one. Don't count. Go off the pump. See where the pump takes you. And this is a good point. Don't cope because a lot of people, when they're not counting reps, they're not counting sets. They're basically not looking at the pump. They can't look at the pump. They're way too busy. And so what they end up doing is they're basically like, okay, I feel satisfied. I feel satisfied with this workout. Well, this isn't how you go about it. Is the pump full? Can you extend your arm? Then you need to do more work. If you can't extend your arm, you need to do more work. You need to fill the pump up more. And this will hurt. The next day you will fucking cry at how much it hurts. It will be the little soreness you got the first day you started training. But that's how it's supposed to be. You're supposed to have more intensity because that's how you induce growth of muscles. So don't count reps, don't count sets, and actually like be humble and honest to yourself that yes, I'm putting in the work. I'm actually going to failure. I'm actually doing partials. And you have the objective of doing partials every single set, every single exercise you do, and making sure that you reach it and not just cope and you just start doing half reps for no reason. You actually do full reps till you physically can't. Okay. Okay, now for the actual like first pro tip. Well, change the way you lift. So I see a lot of people. I did this back then, right? I see a lot of people who I used to basically lift heavy. The first like I think 6 to 12 months of me lifting, I basically was just lifting heavy. I was an ego lifter basically, and we all went through that phase, right? And then I realized, okay, I wasn't getting any gains. I need to actually fucking start lifting light and squeeze. Started doing that, got significant growth, and then I started, okay, wait, my growth is plateaued. I'm not getting anywhere with this. I I stopped getting any growth. And then I went back to lifting heavy and going to higher intensity. And then here I am. I basically built this physique out of this just changing the way I lift. So if I lifted heavy, I'd lift like a bit more light. And then if I was lifting like very like if I was lifting light and I was like hitting slow repetitions, I'd start doing more intense, heavy movements. So my tip for you is if you've seen that your progress is plateaued, you're not getting any progress, you're not making progress in the gym, you change the way you lift. So if you're lifting heavy, you go light. If you're lifting light, you go heavy. If you're lifting fast, you go slow. If you're lifting slow, you go fast. Okay. Pro tip number two, change the variations of the exercises. So this is a really big one, right? You do you do barbell press, but your barbell press isn't hitting your chest anymore, right? Like you feel like the chest doesn't actually like you feel like there's like a mini pump, but it's not really, it doesn't fill you up. Well, then why don't you try dumbbells? Just try dumbbells, you know? You don't need to hit barbell press just for the sake of like, okay, I'm doing barbell press. No, I'm just if it's not working for you, you need to change the exercise, okay? You need to have this fundamental rule that I will not go out of the gym until I physically feel like I will get growth. I will get the growth that I want. That should be a rule in your head. So you change the variations of the exercises, okay? You you're doing like barbell press. No, so you don't change all the variations. You don't just like go randomly like, okay, like cable lateral raises really works for me, but I want to change it because Ayat told me, okay, just change it. No, that's absolute bullshit. If it works for you, if it's hitting your muscles, keep it. But if it's absolute bullshit, it's not hitting your fucking like muscles right, then you change the exercise. You do hack squats, you do full squats, you try different things, okay? Well, pro intensity number three. Yeah, pro tip number three. You change the workout routine fully. Change just seems to be the meta these days, okay? You're doing push pull legs, okay? Why don't you try a bro split? I for a long while, like first like while, like I think it was like the next year, so first year I basically did a bro split. And then I changed to a push pull legs program, and then I went back to doing a bro split, and then it was only when I really changed to the bro split that I actually started getting more growth. And then when I was in the bro split, I changed to push pull legs. That's when I started getting more growth. Changing the program gets you more growth. So if you're doing push pull legs, try bro split. If you're doing like a complicated routine like chest and biceps, uh, shoulders and triceps and back and legs and like whatever you're doing, just basically do like push pull legs, try push pull legs, try bro split. Just change your workout routine. Super simple, super easy. Done. We already talked about these. And yes, it's the pump. Okay. Well, what about the other things Samsung takes? So we know for a fact Samsung takes steroids. Okay, we're not gonna take steroids because we don't want to. Okay, that's the simple truth. This is unhealthy. It's not self improvement stuff for us. It's not gonna help us. Not gonna benefit us, and so we're not gonna do it. He has a purpose, and he knows what he's doing because he wants to do it because he wants to do it. Now, if you want, like, if you're sure that you're a Samsung, then you do what you do what you want to do. Okay, but for us, and like probably you're gonna be much more likely to be like me than Samsung. Steroids isn't an option. Okay, and so what do we do instead? Like we know that the thing that boosted him a lot was just steroids. We can do a lot of different things. So I didn't really add this point here, but I want to kind of just talk about this. Well, steroids, people don't really know what steroids are. Steroids are actually hormones, okay? At least I'm talking about like me because I didn't know what steroids were. But I thought like steroids were like, you know how like they like women place like fake ass and like fake tits. I thought that steroids were just that, but on your muscles. I was pretty stupid, okay? And basically, it's if you think the exact same, I'm just gonna explain this to you, okay? Steroids are hormones. You increase a hormone in your body and you start hitting your workouts, and then this hormone helps you build muscle. Okay, that hormone's testosterone. Simple and easy. Okay. Well, most people think about taking steroids, but they never actually like they can't even think about okay, like can I actually like just increase testosterone naturally, and I won't get like the health like side effects of all that crap. And the answer is, yeah, you can. So I mean, I will make a full guide on this. Like I'll actually like make a video, like YouTube video, like 2 hours long or something. It's basically like talking about this. Okay. To sum this up, look into something called estrogenics. The thing like these are basically like these increase a hormone that like the complete opposite of testosterone. And then when that hormones increase, like estrogen, basically like when estrogen's increased, testosterone actually like gets depleted or in a sense, and basically like estrogenics like because like it's a ratio like they're on opposite ends, but then they need to be like on like if testosterone's higher, then estrogen naturally gets lower, you know, they're like basically like, you know, like omega-3 and omega-6, if you know that fucking analogy, you know. And basically you need to kind of have a like an equal ratio, or you can like, yeah, I mean estrogen's like super easy to fix, okay? You cannot not have high estrogen. All humans have higher estrogen than testosterone, and that's a problem in these days because we have plastics, we have estrogenics all over the place. Basically just like look into estrogenics, look into plant polyphenols, like write these words I'm actually telling you, okay? Is someone watching this? Oh yeah, okay. Look into these. What I'm telling you, okay? Look into estrogenics. Look into plant polyphenols. These are like phytoestrogen like plants, basically plants that are estrogenic. Look into plastics. Just yeah, just research this fucking stuff. And then obviously like I think we first eliminate the things that are actually like fucking up our testosterone. And these are like the main problem. And then we go to ways to increase testosterone, like taking cold showers, like cold approaching, like doing these adventurous things. These things will increase your testosterone, but guess what? You have all these like imagine if you had a truck closing a gate and then you thought of like ways that you can actually like just destroy the wall instead of just going in the truck and actually moving it so it can go inside. The main constraint to you is the truck, which is the estrogenics, the things that are limiting testosterone. And you're trying to increase testosterone by breaking the wall and going in. Well, you have a much easier way. Just go in the truck and just move it. Simple and easy. So now going on to this slide, there are only really three things you actually need. And one thing you're already like taking and like getting it basically. I mean, all these you can get naturally, but I mean, no one's gonna be like taking like, no one's gonna be eating like 100. I think it's like 100 grams of red meat to like get 5 grams of creatine. You only need protein, creatine, and water. Okay, you already drink water. Just get a protein supplement. Get like a creatine tub. Take a scoop of creatine a day and don't miss a day, and then take protein every single day, like time, like every single time you do a workout, you just go back home and you actually take it. Pro tip: just make sure the protein has BCAAs because this will help you recover basically.